Hey, everybody, welcome to the Talk This Way podcast. I'm your host, Matt Bishop. We have a very intriguing guest here today. She probably has one of the coolest jobs in the industry that you might not even be aware of. We have Andrea Shirk here, President and CEO of Rock Lititz. Andrea, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So I am aware of, Rock Lititz, and I've actually been myself. I was doing some photo work there a few years ago, and I was actually there for dinner like
Yeah,
2 weeks ago at Per
wonderful.
Diem. Fantastic. It was my first time there. That was really
Awesome.
awesome. So for those that aren't aware, kind of tell everybody, what Rock Lititz is and just give like a quick little background.
Awesome, thanks. So Rock Lititz is a campus that is purpose built around the live entertainment industry. It's really a place to bring community together so that we can best support our clients, really drive collaboration, and really help evolve the industry, both in an innovative way and also really providing wellness and support to the industry.
Very cool. And, for those of you who haven't been there, I mean, it is just It it's really, awe-inspiring. It's humongous. There's rehearsal spaces, a hotel, a restaurant. It's kind of, a one-stop shop for artists who are, prepping to go out on tour, and rehearsing, their sets, the production, and all that kind of business, which brings us to why we're actually here. Big announcement, coming out of your guys' camp. Rock Nashville is
Yes,
coming. It
yes.
is a thing. A dream come true is happening. Tell us what is going on down south.
So when we started Rock Lititz, we always had a vision that we would potentially be able to build a strong enough foundation that we could add this community to other geographies. And so we've been looking at like how would we grow this and where would it make sense? And Nashville just became so obvious as Nashville has really evolved from country music to really the full music city from a global perspective. We have so many partnerships and relationships and work so closely with so many people from Nashville. Honestly, as we're welcoming touring acts here in Lidditz, so many people are like, "Oh, I'm from Nashville. I'm from Nashville." And so, as we started looking, like, where else would we want to add production rehearsal spaces? And looking at the Nashville market, it became evident that large rehearsal space was really missing from that community. And we were starting to actually get a ton of Nashville artists rehearsing in Lidditz, but there's so much about their home and their community and so much about being local. And so we really wanted to be able to support them. So looking at how do we bring some of the things we've done in Lidditz, but really give it a Nashville flair. So Rock Nashville is going to be a campus that does really focus on creating a community for the live entertainment industry. Certainly the local community, but also the global music community that has developed there, and really driving a place for collaboration, innovation, and just best supporting the artists and their crews.
That is it's just incredible. It's a wild concept, to begin with. And you guys are just really taking it and expanding it and running with it. And, going back to one thing in particular that you said, as far as where you guys, or how you guys, I should say, settled on Nashville, when
Mhm.
you said in at Rock Lititz in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, so many people would come through. Oh, I'm from Nashville. I'm from Nashville. Talking to, people in the industry, over the years, that is where everyone is found.
Mhm.
Solo artists, if they need somebody in the studio, if they're going on tour, they
Mhm.
go right to Nashville and they grab musicians, they grab dancers, they grab everybody. And it really is such, going from like the country music capital of the world, the music capital of the world,
Mhm.
everybody is there. And I think still people have this New York, LA thing
Mhm.
in their mind.
Mhm.
And while that's not untrue, but Nashville really is such a hub for so many things that I think a lot of like the fans and the general public really don't think about or see immediately on the surface. So, you know, what an appropriate location for sure.
Yeah, there's over 40,000 people associated with live entertainment that really call Nashville home. And we see that, like you said, in every layer. So people think about the artists, but what they don't appreciate is all of those crews who make the artist's vision come to reality. They also call Nashville home. And so this campus is like a perfect place to give the artists a support community and really help them thrive, but also all of those crews that are so critical to making this happen, really giving them a place to call home and giving them a place to collaborate. I think that's what's going to be really exciting is just the amount of folks that will be running into each other on a daily basis. You know, our industry, we're always such a family, and each crew is a family, but they also have so much history with each other. And creating a space where folks can naturally collaborate, naturally communicate is really exciting.
Mhm. I can't tell you how many times I've been, in the photo pit waiting for a show to start and the crew is changing stuff and they're wearing a shirt from another tour that they just got off of
Yeah.
like 3 months ago. And yeah, it's really, quite the network from what I understand. And having a place like this, another place like this to, bring people together, to have a hub and keep people in touch and working. It's cool stuff.
Yeah, and Soundcheck and Claire Global, who are two of our major partners and tenants on this campus, they've been in Nashville for over 30 years. They really know that community. They understand that family and that tight-knit community down there. And so it's just such a gift for us to be like, hey, we'd love to take a concept, but really take those who have been living and breathing in this community and figure out how do we take everything that they've learned, what we've learned, and create something even different and more unique and spectacular. So we're really excited about combining all of that and really giving it an opportunity to thrive there.
Absolutely. And looking at, the structure of the campus,
Mhm,
there is so much capability. You guys are going to have the ability for artists to rehearse for arena shows, club shows,
mhm,
amphitheaters, cruises,
mhm.
festivals, you name it.
Yep.
Um, and I actually, found out how important that was a couple of years ago. I was working for a fantastic lighting company called Fragment 9. We were
Mhm,
working on Keith Urban's tour, and
mhm.
they said, we need photos on two dates. We need an arena show, and they called it a shed show, which is an amphitheater.
Yep.
And, I'm not one to turn down work, but, there have been clients of mine for a while. I said, hey guys, you don't need me to drive all the way for this amphitheater. Like, I'll take care of it in the arena show. And they said, you have no idea. It is completely different.
Yeah.
And fans don't notice. Most people would never even notice. But on our end, production wise, it is a completely different setup. So giving these artists the space to say, oh well, this is an amphitheater run. Sometimes they start in the summer, end in the fall. It goes from inside to outside. Now they can tech for all of their setups, and there's no winging it if they get into a different kind of building.
Yeah, and I think what really sets us apart in Lidditz has been our mindset around that and really an existence for our clients to make their lives easier and more efficient. And so, one of the things that's always been critical to us is while we certainly do support these large stadium tours, supporting the local and regional acts with the same level of service and support and care and kindness, I think allows us to really build into just how we operate. Most of my team thinks of ourselves as hospitality more than, a venue crew. And so bringing that to Nashville, where that is so much part of the culture, really taking care of people and supporting people. And so we're just so excited that we're going to have spaces for some of that local regional acts when they're just getting started. And then we'll roll in one of the largest stadium tours at the same exact time. And even the ability for those teams to, bump into each other and mentor and learn and just have an environment that they share together really brings up the entire quality and service of the entire industry when we really just have an open, easy playing field for everyone to be part of. And I think that's really important to us as we build this, that we're really thinking about all of those markets and all of those genres and all of those venues and really every size and anyone who wants to play live entertainment in any space.
And you guys are already doing much more than just rehearsing, to support these smaller acts. You guys
Mhm.
have an actual club venue on the Rock Lititz campus, Mickey's Black Box, for those
Yep.
that don't know.
Yep. Yeah, and we picture sort of being able to bring some of the things we've done here. So some of the things we're most proud of actually are the work we've done around education. So we do have a ton of programming. Just yesterday, we had 350 high school students on campus, just simply getting exposed to the concepts that there's careers in this industry. We do a college day for 600 students, and we want to bring all of that environment that we've created here around the broader community. So we really do think of our guests as both the artists and their crews, our local people who live in our local communities, and then every vendor and everyone who's part of making something happen. And so we've brought a lot of programming around conferences, education, performance space for young artists to perform. And we want to bring those same concepts to the Nashville community, but take advantage also of so much of what's already happening there. So really excited about not just the buildings themselves, but all of the collaboration and community and programming we can build around it that really just helps influence the industry to keep getting better and better.
And that is really cool about, kind of the mentoring and education program. And I mean, some of these bigger tours, it takes a village.
Yes.
I want to say Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, it was something like 30 truck drivers.
Yeah.
That's just guys driving the truck. Forget
Yeah.
about everybody else, all of the techs and the lighting crew and the riggers, everything. And I think when people think about, getting into the entertainment business, you got to either be a talent, a really exceptional talent, or you got to
Mhm.
know somebody.
Yeah.
And you guys are kind of, changing, not a stigma, but changing the perception that, oh, this is not just like being lucky or
Mhm.
knowing somebody. You
Mhm.
guys can come here. You can train to be a stagehand. You can train to be a lighting tech. Like we
Yeah.
will help give you the tools to get into this industry and work, be it behind the scenes, without a guitar in your hand.
And I mean, we see that the industry needs talent. One of the benefits that we get here at Rock Lititz is hundreds of vendors are coming through here, hundreds of, crew are coming through here, and we're talking to them and surveying them and like, what are the challenges you're facing? What can we do to help? What do you see the industry evolving? And continuously we hear about workforce. And so it became evident to us that like, wow, people don't even realize there's jobs in this industry. And how do we help them figure that out? And how do we support folks? Because entering the industry, it is unique. It does require some different skills. We actually are opening a school on campus. So we actually just launched. It's going to be a 4-year degree program, Academy of Live Technology, where we will
Wow.
actually train folks in a hands-on environment. So they'll be immersed in the industry. We're going to partner with Blackbird Academy in Nashville and make sure we're bringing that concept to Nashville as well. But I think what's exciting is we're going to bring some energy, right? When you take some of the best at what they do, who've been doing this forever, and then you bring in some young energy that has the attitude and aptitude for it, and we combine that, I think we're going to see some really great things happen for the industry.
That's fantastic. Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks. We're excited. That's the stuff we're kind of most proud of. We love all the buildings. The rehearsal spaces are going to be amazing. It's going to be such a great asset, but I think it's going to be all the other stuff around it that's going to really make it special.
Well, that's just a testament to, what I said when we started. It's so much more than meets the eye, really, and just nobody really knows, just how much you guys are capable of and everything that you guys do. That's not, a global artist just, running through, some of their songs for their tour coming up. It's just so much more than that.
And I think what the reason that happens is because it's not just us. So Rock Lititz is actually we're a small company and we think of ourselves as just simply collaborators. And we're going to do the same thing in Nashville. We're there to collaborate and get people who are experts in this and experts in this community to come together. And then they really are the ones who make the special happen. And so we're going to bring that facilitation and that community experience to the table. But is all we're really doing is highlighting all of the incredible and amazing companies that exist in Nashville, and then hopefully bringing some new folks there. I mean, you're seeing so many people move to Nashville and so much growth, and we really just want to be part of that because we're hearing from so many companies now, like, wait, I need a home in Nashville. What's going on there? It's so exciting, and so we're hoping to really support what's there and then grow it, and give some pathways for folks to really enter that community.
So you're talking about growing, and I don't want to get, so far ahead, but just more out of curiosity, is Nashville it, or is this going to be more locations? I'm talking like, the 10 to 20 year, 30-year plan, and then
Yeah.
around the globe.
I mean, we hope so, right? It's been 10 years for our first one, but there was a lot of foundation building and, we built things sort of one building at a time and we kept learning and evolving. And then we come to Nashville and we're like, let's go build everything we built in 10 years in Lititz in the next 18 months in Nashville. So, it's exciting, a little overwhelming to really think about that. But, you look 2 years from now and we're going to have something in Nashville that is equivalent to what we just created 10 years here. And I think we're going to learn a lot from that. And I think what we'll learn is that there are other communities in which we can bring these services. The key, I think, is figuring out what does each community need that's unique. And so while there might be some commonality and some foundation around studios and community and education, each location might have slightly different needs. But I think certainly we do see a global footprint, especially around where there are hubs of live entertainment professionals where we can support them.
Very cool. Uh,
Yeah.
Going back to, we talked about Mickey's Black Box, the actual performance venue on the campus.
Yeah.
Um, it begs the question,
Mhm.
why stop there? Why stop at rehearsal space? If we have the capability to build the entire set and run through everything,
Mhm.
what is to stop Rock Lititz and Rock Nashville from becoming a tour stop and holding an actual ticketed concert, not just for the club level venues, but for bigger artists as well? A warm-up gig, maybe, if you will.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. So we have actually had a handful of artists end up doing a show at Rock Lititz, whether it would be a VIP show or a Work Out the Kink show, and invite the community here and say, hey, I want to do this in front of people who I trust, and I can sort of work out those kinks and get ready. So we have actually supported that. I think for us, we're just in a place where we listen and try to figure out like, hey, what does the industry need? What does the artist need? And we try to respond to that. So as those demands grow, we're open to really figuring out how do we solve them together. And we have certainly seen artists utilizing our spaces for some live events and with an actual audience. And I think having a really fun and unique experience.
I got you. And if you guys were to, go into that,
Hmm.
but even without that,
Hmm.
just having the artists there, I feel like a lot of artists, they love Rock Lititz because it's kind of off the grid. Like, not that
Yeah.
you can't look it up, but in terms of like fanfare, there's
Hmm.
a lot of smaller airports they fly into, and they come in and they're comfortable. It's nice and quiet. They're just doing their thing. Nashville's a little more
A little
hustle,
different. Yeah.
and this day and age with social media and everything, is there not maybe concern, but just like an interesting kind of question as to how are we going to handle, like, if there's just fans lined up outside and
Yeah.
somebody found out that so and so is coming to tech, and there's paparazzi. I mean, how do we see that happening in a city where there's just more hustle and bustle, more fans, more media, everything?
Yeah, fair enough. So in Lidditz, we have like this secret little oasis, and our community is so used to it. Claire Global's been here for over 60 years, and they actually started having some small rehearsal spaces. So the community in Lidditz is very much like, oh, we want to support this, and like we'll just, be really respectful. Our campus is actually open to the public, believe it or not. Our
Mhm.
rehearsal spaces are obviously closed. And honestly, I think because we've been like, hey, come take a little quick look backstage, not really, but we give them some insight. I feel like they're like, oh, okay, cool, but there's the boundary, and we can always provide our artists full security, privacy, and it's worked really well. In Nashville, we are looking to keep the campus a little more closed and not as open to the public, but really meant for the industry community, and really being able to make sure we can still, while we're in a different environment, we can still provide that privacy and that security and that comfort, because we do want the artists to feel like they can leave their rehearsal space and go in to get a cup of coffee and like run into people in the industry, but not necessarily create a paparazzi
Mhm.
situation. So we're thoughtful of that in our design. We're confident we can pull that off. We are so close to Nashville, but we are just outside of the city area where all the venues are, and so we're hopeful that we have control over creating the right environment for them.
Very cool. I
Yeah.
mean, you guys have been crushing it for so long. I have no doubt it'll all be fine.
I love it. I love that mindset.
Oh man, well, Andrea, thank you so much for joining us. Andrea Shirk, ladies and gentlemen, Rock Nashville. It's coming to the Music City. It's going to be a city within the Music City. I
I
feel
love
like
it.
it's going
Yeah,
to be crazy.
we're so thrilled and just appreciate the welcome and ready to do it.
Absolutely. Well, oh, when opening date? We
So,
didn't even
yes.
say that. Exactly when?
Well, we have actually started construction. So, dirt is moving, which is really exciting. And we will be wrapping up construction in the fall of 2025. And really excited to get the facilities available as quickly as we can to the community.
Well, that's very cool. We'll be stoked and we'll be keeping an eye out for that grand opening.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.